everybody. I am Pravina KP, Assistant Professor in ECE Department, SNGCED Payyanur. I am here to present some details about control systems. First of all, we can go through the Module 1 syllabus. And it consists of basic components of a control system, its application, open loop control system, closed loop control system, examples of control system. Also, some topics about effects of feedback on overall gain, disturbances, noise, and types of feedback control system, overview of solving differential equation using Laplace transforms, mathematical modeling of control systems, block diagram representation, and reduction signal flow graph. These all are the topics in Module 1. Today, in this slides, I am going to present something about basic components of control system, its application and its classification. First of all, let me introduce what do you mean by a system. When a number of elements or components are connected in a sequence to perform a specific functions, the group thus formed is called a system. Okay? When a number of elements or components are connected in a sequence to perform a specific function, the group thus formed is called a system. In a system, when the output quantity is controlled by varying the input quantity, the system is called a control system. Control system itself is a system in that output quantity is controlled by varying the input quantity. So it is called a control system. So the output quantity is called the controlled variable or response, and input quantity is called command signal or excitation. Let me say one example about the system. If we are considering a car's engine, it is a system, and in the case of engine, its elements are carburetor, the ignition, the crankshaft, etc. If we are considering on a higher level, we can consider car itself as a system. In that case, the engine can be considered as an element. Next, we can come closer to some terms like what is a static element, a dynamic element. A static element is one whose output at any time depends only on the input at that time. What do you mean by a static element? A static element is one whose output at any time depends only on the input at that time. Okay? But dynamic element is one whose present output depends on the past input. In the case of a dynamic element, present output depends on the past input. For the car considered an element with an acceleration pedal position as input and car position as the output, then car is a dynamic element. Okay, you got the idea. In the case of a dynamic element, present the output depends upon the past input. So if we are considering a car and we are giving force to acceleration pedal, so its position will be changing. Okay, so we can consider acceleration pedal position as the input and car position as the output. So if we are continuously giving acceleration pedal, its position will be changed. So at a particular time, the position of the car depends not only on the acceleration pedal position at that instant, but it also depends upon the previous acceleration pedal positions. Okay, so the car, if you are considering a car as an element with an acceleration pedal position as the input and car position as the output, then the car is a dynamic element. So what will be the example for the static element? In the case of static element, the present output depends only on the past input. That is the definition for static element. So we can say that if we are considering a resistor, the present current through the resistor depends only on the voltage applied at that moment, right? It will not depends upon the previous voltage applied across it. Okay, so the resistor can be considered as a static element. So for a successful operation of a system under changing condition requires a control system. Okay, these all terms you may remember: system, control system, example of system, static element, dynamic element, classification of control system. Next is the term classification of control system. Let me elaborate that classification. Control systems can be classified into two. One is open loop control system and other is closed loop control system. Two classification. Next is what is an open loop control system. This is a block diagram for the open loop control system. Any physical system which does not automatically correct the variation in its output is called an open loop system. Okay, once more. Any physical system which does not automatically correct the variation in its output is called an open loop system. In this system, the control action is independent of the output. Okay, control action is independent of the output in the case of open loop system. In open loop control system, the output quantity has no effect upon the input quantity. This means that the output is not fed back to the input for correction, right? In this figure, there is no feedback path. That means output quantity is not fed back to input. Output is not fed back to input for correction. That means the output quantity has no effect upon the input quantity. That is the open loop system. Okay. Next is the closed loop control system. This is the block diagram for closed loop control system. Control systems in which the output has an effect upon the input quantity in order to maintain the desired output value are called closed loop systems. Okay. Control systems in which the output has an effect upon the input quantity in order to maintain the desired output value are called closed loop systems. In this type of control systems, control action is dependent on the output. In the case of open loop system, control action, there is no control action and output is not fed back to input. But in the case of closed loop systems, the control action is dependent on the output. And we can see it clearly in this block diagram. There is a feedback path in this block diagram. That means the open loop systems can be modified as a closed loop systems by providing a feedback. So if we are avoiding this feedback path in this diagram, then it will become a, and also avoiding the controller, it will become an open loop systems. So the open loop system can be modified as closed loop systems by providing a feedback path. The provision of feedback automatically corrects the changes in the output due to disturbances. Hence, the closed loop system is also called automatic control system. Why closed loop systems are called automatic control systems? Closed loop systems have a feedback. The provision of feedback automatically corrects the changes in the output due to disturbances. Hence, the closed loop systems is also called automatic control system. The general block diagram of the automatic control system is shown in the figure. And this figure consists of error detector, and then what is there? A controller. Next is a planned or open loop system, and also there is a feedback element. The reference signals or input signal corresponding to the desired output is given to error detector, which is shown in this diagram. The feedback path elements samples the output and converts it to a signal of same type as that of the reference signal. That means error detector receives the reference signal input, also receives the signals from the feedback path. What is feedback path doing? It samples the output and converts it to a signal of same type as that of reference signals. That means the feedback signal is proportional to the output signal and it is fed to the error detector. And the error detector generates the error signal. That is the difference between the reference signal and feedback signal. And the output of the error detector is given to the controller. The controller modifies and amplifies the error signals to produce better control action. The modified error signal is fed to the plant to correct its output. This is the overall working of the closed loop control system. Okay. Apart from the open loop systems, there is a feedback path and also controller and error detector. Error detector finds the difference between reference input signal and the signal from the feedback path. What is the signal from the feedback path? Feedback elements finds the samples of the output signal and it is given to the error detector. The difference between this reference signal and the signals from the feedback path is given to controller for issuing control signals. Based on the difference, the output of the open loop system is modified. That means the modified error signal is fed to the plant to correct its output. These are the description about open loop system and closed loop systems. Next is the advantages and disadvantages of open loop systems. If you are constructing an open loop system, we can find that there is no feedback path. So we can say simply that it is simple and economical and easier to construct. But what is the disadvantages of constructing this simple open loop system? It will be inaccurate and unreliable because if there is any external noise coming to the output, it will not be corrected because it does not provide any feedback path. That is, the changes in the output due to disturbances are not corrected automatically in the case of open loop systems. Next is the advantages and disadvantages of closed loop systems. Since it has got a feedback path, it is an accurate system. We can definitely say that it is an accurate system. Also, the closed loop systems are accurate even in the presence of non-linearities. The sensitivity of the closed loop systems may be made small to make the system more stable. What do you mean by a sensitivity? Sensitivity means the smallest change in the output the system can recognize. That is the sensitivity. In the case of closed loop systems, sensitivity of the system may be made too small to make the system more stable. And the closed loop systems are less affected by noise because it is automatically corrected by the feedback. So it is less affected by noise. And the disadvantages of the closed loop systems are, since it has got a feedback path, these systems are complex and costly. The feedback in a closed loop systems may lead to oscillatory response. The feedback reduces the overall gain of the system, and also we are considering the stability. If we are considering the stability is a major problem in closed loop systems and more care is needed to design the stable closed loop system. Okay. Next is the few basic terms, that is the basic components of a control systems. That I already have explained it. What is the system? You already know that it is an arrangement of physical components related in such a manner as to form an entire unit. Okay, that is a system. What do you mean by command input or controlling variable? Command input itself is an input. Okay, it is an excitation applied to a control system from an external source. It is also a motivating input signal to the system, and it is independent of the output of the system. That is the command input or controlling variable. That is the excitation applied to the system. Next is output or controlled variable. It is the actual response obtained from a control system which must be maintained at a prescribed value. That is the output. Next is reference input. Reference input is the actual signal input to the control system. Actuating signal. Next is actuating signal or error signal. It is the difference between the reference input and feedback signal. Next is plant. It is the process or body or machine of which a particular quantity or condition is to be controlled. What do you mean by a plant? It is a process or body or machine of which a particular quantity or condition is to be controlled. That means a body. Plant means a body or process or a machine. Feedback element. Next is feedback element. It is a unit which provides the means for feeding back the output quantity in order to compare it with the reference input. Okay, feedback element What is the function of feedback element? It is the unit which provides the means for feeding back the output quantity in order to compare it with the reference input. Next is control element or controller. It is the component required to generate appropriate control signals applied to the plant. Control element is the component required to generate the appropriate control signal applied to the plant. Next is examples of control systems. The examples of control systems are traffic control system, temperature control system, numerical control system, and position control system using servo motor. These all are the examples of control system. Okay, let me come closer to temperature control system, which can be established, which can be made as open loop systems or closed loop systems. If you are discussing about temperature control system as an open loop system, this will be the block diagram. It consists of a relay control circuit, electric furnace, analog to digital converter, interface, and digital display. And also there is a sensor. Okay. The output in the system is the desired temperature. Since it is a temperature control system, its output will be desired temperature. The temperature of the system is raised by heat generated by the heating element. Temperature will be raised when the heat generated by the heating element is high. The output temperature depends on the time during which the supply to heater remains on. There is a relay control circuit which determines the time up to which the heating element will be on or off. The on and off of the supply is governed by the time setting of the relay. The temperature is measured by a sensor which gives an analog voltage corresponding to the temperature of the furnace. There is a sensor that senses the temperature, and that will be an analog quantity, and that analog quantity will be given to analog to digital converter. As a result, the output of the analog to digital converter will be a digital signal. The digital signal is then given to the digital display device to display the temperature. In this, if there is any change in the output temperature, then the time setting of the relay is not altered automatically. That is the defect of this system. Since it is an open loop system, that is the defect of this system. If there is any external noise affects the display, the temperature will be changed, but that change in temperature will not be corrected automatically. So if you are going for a closed loop system for the temperature control system, this will be the block diagram. It consists of a relay control unit, sensor, electric furnace, analog to digital converter, interface circuit. Also, it contains a controller, digital to analog converter, and amplifier. The output of the system is a desired temperature, and it depends on the time during which the supply to heater remains on. As we discussed before, the working will be similar. The switching on and off of the relay is controlled by the controller. The controller is a digital system or computer. The desired temperature is input to the system through keyboard or as a signal corresponding to desired temperature via ports. The actual temperature is sensed by the sensor and converted to digital signal by the analog to digital converter. The computer reads the actual temperature and compares with the desired temperature. That means we are giving the desired temperature to the controller. That means it will be a computer. Desired temperature, and the desired temperature and actual temperature from the analog to digital converter is also compared in the controller. If it finds any difference, then it sends the signal to switch on or off the relay through digital to analog converter and amplifier. If there is any difference occurs, the controller will produce a different signal and it will be given to relay control circuit. Based on that signal, relay control circuit will on or off. Thus, the system automatically corrects any changes in the output. Hence, it is a closed loop system. Both of the systems are similar, but in the case of closed loop system, there is a feedback path. Okay. Next example is traffic control system. In the case of traffic control system, if we are establishing it as an open loop system, traffic control system consists of traffic signals that operated on a time basis that constitute an open loop control system. If the traffic control system is operated on the time basis, then it will be working as open loop systems. That means for each signal there is a time slot. The control signals are based on time slots. The time slots are decided based on the traffic study. That means the system will not measure the density of the traffic before giving the control signals. The system issues traffic signals based on the time slot. Since the time slot does not changes according to the traffic density, the system is an open loop system. So, the open loop system, in the case of traffic control system, these open loop systems are less efficient because it will not consider the traffic density. It will issue traffic signals based on the time slot. Next, we can establish this traffic control system as a closed loop system. In the case of closed loop traffic control system, the density of the traffic is measured on all the sides and information is fed to the computer. The time slots of the control signals are decided by the computer based on the density of the traffic. That is, here the density of the traffic is measured by the computer and the time slots are given based on that of traffic density. Since the closed loop system automatically changes the timings, the flow of vehicle will be better than an open loop systems. Next is the numerical control system. It can also be established as open loop and closed loop systems. In the case of open loop numerical control system, the block diagram is shown in figure. It consists of a magnetic disc reader, digital to analog converter, amplifier, servo motor and a cutter head and also desired position. Numerical control is a method of controlling the motion of a machine component using numbers. Here the position of a workhead tool is controlled by the binary information contained in a disk. Here there is a magnetic disc. It is in a binary form. It represents the desired position P. And what is the desired position P? Desired position P is the metal part to be machined. Based on the information in the magnetic disc, the desired position P will be machined. The tool, here the tool is cutter. That cutter will operate on the desired part P. Initially, the reader will read the magnetic disc. The output of the reader is a frequency modulated pulse. It is then fed to the digital to analog converter and then amplified, and it is given to servo motor. Servo motor changes its angular position based on the signal received from the amplifier. The position of the cutter head is controlled by the angular motion of the servo motor. There is no feedback path between the output and input, so it is an open loop system. Any deviation in desired position is not checked and corrected automatically in this case. Okay. Next is we can establish this system as a closed loop system by providing a feedback path. The block diagram is shown in the figure. The feedback path contains analog to digital converter. Also there is a transducer. Here as explained before, the magnetic disc is prepared in binary form that represents the desired part P, which is the part to be machined. First the disc is loaded in the reader and it will reads the magnetic disc and produces FM pulses. The controller compares the frequency modulated input pulse signal with the feedback pulse signal. The controller receives FM pulse signals and also feedback signals. That feedback signals is coming from the output. The controller is a computer or a microprocessor system. The controller carries out mathematical operations on the difference in the pulse signals and generates an error signal. And that different signal is given to digital to analog converter, and that converts the controller output pulse, that is error signal, into an analog signal. The amplifier amplifies the analog signal and fed those signals to servo motor. The servo motor's angular positions changed based on the input, and based on the angular positions the cutter head is changed. That means the position of the cutter head is controlled by the angular motion of the servo motor. Also, there is a transducer attached to the cutter head that converts the motion into an electrical signal. The analog electrical signal is converted into digital pulse signals by analog to digital converter. Then this signal is compared with the digital input pulse signals. If there is any difference between these two, the controller sends a signal to the servo motor to reduce it. Thus, the system automatically corrects any deviation in the desired output to tool position through feedback. Means there is a feedback path. It contains analog to digital converter, and that signal will be given to controller. Controller will find out the difference between the input FM pulse and feedback signal. Based on that, the position of the servo motor will be changed. Angular motion of the servo motor will be changed, and based on the angular motion, the cutter head changes its position. An advantage of numerical control is that complex parts can be produced with uniform tolerances at the maximum milling speed. Next is position control system using servo motor. Its block diagram is shown in figure. The system consists of a servo motor, and servo motor is powered by a generator, and there is a load is connected. The load whose position has to be controlled is connected to motor shaft through the gear wheels. There are potentiometers. Potentiometers are used to convert the mechanical motion to electrical signals. The desired load position is theta r, which is shown in the figure. The actual load position is theta c, and theta r is set on the input potentiometer, and theta c is fed to feedback potentiometer. The difference between the two angular positions, that is theta r and theta c, generates an error signal. This error signal is amplified and fed to generator field circuit. The induced EMF of the generator drives the motor. The rotation of the motor stops when the error signal is 0. That is when the desired load position is reached. This type of control systems are called servo mechanisms. The servo or servo mechanisms are feedback control systems in which output is mechanical position or time derivatives of position or velocity and acceleration. And these all are the examples, 4 examples of control, open and closed control systems. This is the end of this session. Next we will come with another session like effects of feedback on overall gain, stability, external disturbances or noise on next session. Okay, I think you all will understand what are the basic concepts of control system, basic terms, etc. Let us have a good session on the next time. Okay, thank you.